Shaykh.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. That's you, Haj Dawood.
Yes, it is.
Ameen, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, Shaykh.
Shaykh, I can't see your face that well. It's kind of dark.
My face?
Yeah, I think it's something with the light. It's a little different than the way it normally is. I'm not sure why.
You should move the camera over to his left a little more.
Oh, that's better, Shaykh. Just you turning the light out made it better. Alhamdulillah. I see you fine now.
Yeah, and it's kind of like weird looking outside too, you know.
Yeah.
But I also do what he said and move it a little bit to the left.
Yeah, and that helps too. That helps too.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, we have snow over here. Snowing over here now.
MashaAllah. Yeah, we had kind of bad snow. Haj Dawood?
Yes.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Is Ajib any place around?
I don't think so. There's one person whose name isn't showing up, but I don't see his name.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. How are you, Abu Yasin?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Just going with the flow, as they say.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. How are you, Shaykh?
Alhamdulillah.
$7.
Is that the lady trying to talk to me? I'm sorry?
Someone.
It's from my mama.
I think that's on Haj Dawood's end.
Sister Jamila?
No, I think that was on Haj Dawood's end. He muted it.
Oh, mashallah. Okay. Is Frank in here?
Yep, he just jumped back on.
Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was on and he got kicked off, but he just got back on.
Say it again.
I said Frank was on and he had to, I think he got kicked off, but he's back on now. So
okay, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ishaq told me he had to go away for a minute, for a little while. Yep, we were just waiting for you to come.
Okay. So it's recording, but I'm trying to put the spotlight on your picture so that on the YouTube people only see you.
Assalamu alaikum, Ameen.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam. Abu Yasin.
Happy birthday, big man.
Alhamdulillah, shukran. Appreciate that. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, the big 32. Alhamdulillah.
Tell me when you want me to start.
Okay, Shaykh. I'm messaging City Ishaq now because there's a technical question I gotta ask him, inshallah, before we start. Oh no, I got it. Okay, Shaykh, we can go ahead and start if you're ready. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذرياته وأهل البيت كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم إني أسألك من كل خير سألك من محمد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من كل شر استعاذك من محمد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما أعلنا وما أنت أعلم بما منا ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من فتنة المحيا والممات ومن فتنة القبر ومن فتنة المسيح الدجال ومن عذاب النار وسوء المصير اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد رضي الله عنه وصحبه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Welcome everyone to our weekly Maliki Fiqh class with our teacher, Shaykh Ameen Abdul Awal. Alhamdulillah, we are thankful to have him back. Alhamdulillah, he had to attend to some things next week, and we had the opportunity to hear from one of his students, one of his qualified students, who's keeping the legacy of the knowledge that we've inherited from Shaykh Ameen going and spreading, Ustad Abdullah. And my name is Brother Habib Rasul Miller. I am one of Shaykh Ameen's students. If you know me, you know I all the time talk about how being with Shaykh Ameen has changed my life and helped me to understand my deen, and at least given me the tools to be able to practice the religion correctly. And now, you know, my work is just striving to implement everything that Shaykh Ameen has given me. And I'm encouraging you all to take these lessons very seriously and to strive to do the same. Shaykh Ameen Abdul Awal has been studying and teaching Islam according to the traditional way, according to the Maliki madhab, one of the four well-known madhabs or schools of thought of Ahlul Sunnah, for more than 50 years. We don't know nobody who's been doing that in this country that long. He's a student of the renowned luminary Azhari Shaykh of Fiqh, you know, Islamic law and jurisprudence, theology, um, and philosophy. Dr. Suleiman Dunya, rahmatullah alayhi, who was the head of 2 departments in the school of Azhar University, which is unheard of, who came here to this part of the world during the 1960s, specifically for the work of enabling the burgeoning Muslim community, mostly working class Black and brown people, to be able to understand and learn their deen and practice their deen without having to go to somebody else to take their cues. So you've heard me say this before, but in case we have new people, I want to make sure they know this history. I'm not going to talk much, you know, so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my teacher, Shaykh Ameen. And I'm going to encourage one thing I say before I leave is if you have the ability, take notes of this information. Take notes of this information. This is, I know sometimes we've gotten in the habit of treating Islamic knowledge like a form of entertainment. And I'm not beating nobody up, because it's better that you come here for fellowship than just watching the ball game. But it's important that we graduate to the place where we take these lessons seriously and actually take notes and try to be serious students so that we can review them. One of my teachers, when I had the opportunity to study for 1 year in Senegal, one of my teachers, he said, the real work is in the review. It's not just in the studying, the taking information, it's the review, in Arabic, muraja, you know? So you want to take the notes so you can review it, so that you can retain it. And inshallah, when the time comes, so that you can teach it to your families and to other people in the community who can benefit. So without further ado, I'm going to sit with you all and listen. And I pray that we all can retain and understand and implement these blessed gems that we will hear from our teacher, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh Ameen.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم صل على محمد النبي الأمي وأزواجه أمهات المؤمنين وذرياته وآل بيته كما صليت على إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. And about I can't see Frank. Oh, there you go. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Last week, you was asking me about shaving and under your arms, your pubic hairs, and so on and so forth. And I didn't complete my talk to you about that because I was already engrossed in something else, and I didn't want to lose my continuity. So I put it in my mind to refer back to that to make it perfectly understandable and clear. Right now, I want to tell you about the clipping of the fingernails, so that from now until you go back to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if anybody asks you, you will have direct, straight information on how that should be done. The way it should be done is that, hey Frank, it looks like you in Hawaii on the wall.
And I have to use my wife's computer, and she uses this for her meetings. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of it, but
Is that what it is?
yeah,
It looks like you're on a trip.
yeah, I'm not on a trip, but
MashaAllah.
my
Okay.
wife's computer.
Okay, I understand now. So what we want to do is the same thing as any other type of ibadah. We want to start out with Bismillah or Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. When we say Bismillah, we say it with the intention that we're going to clip our nails by the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the greatest things of Islam is that we have a perfect example on what we should do to be pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, Assalamu alaikum, Hajj Khadija. So, what we want to do is we want to say Bismillah and start with our Shahada finger and clip this Shahada fingernail, then go to the one right next to it, then the one right next to it, then the one right next to it. And instead of going to the thumb right now, we're going to go to the left hand and we're going to clip the Shahada the finger on the left hand side. That would be your Shahada finger. And then the one right next to it, then the one right next to it, then the one right next to it, then the right thumb, then the left thumb. Okay? Did you get it, Frank? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So this will be your method of cleaning your under your nails, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that the shaitan, a'udhu billahi, tries to live in this area underneath your fingernails and toenails. So this gets rid of his filthiness. Okay. I missed a couple of classes and I don't know exactly where the teacher left off. So I'm gonna ask Frank to tell me, where did the teacher leave off, Frank?
Got a little confusing because both yourself and Dr. Habib were covering the same subject. It'll take me a minute to go back and see.
Oh, do it. It's okay. Okay. Was it the optional or no, obligatory or the at the time and the overdue time or the at the time of prayer? Anybody remember where we left off?
Alaikum wabarakatuh, Shaykh.
Alaykum salam.
Yeah, that was the subject of the class the last time when Dr. Habib Rasul was teaching that day. So he left off on that, on the subject of the going from, I think, Isha to Fajr, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I remember. That's what I remember.
It's
If anybody
probably,
else,
mashallah, it's okay. I'm trying to get a sort of an idea, but I see maybe I'm gonna go with this myself. And I think Dr. Habib and I think Amir ibn Islam, Sheikh Amir ibn Islam, Abdullah ibn Islam, and I thank you, Amir, for sending us back on course. The reason I asked Frank first was because Frank always takes notes. I watch him take the notes. So I have a pretty firm idea that he's in tune with the notes from where you guys leave off and stuff. Okay. For Abu Yasin, you know, if he has notes of this stuff from when he was a youngster, they probably now, the pages are probably coming apart.
Yeah.
So, alhamdulillah, that just means you had them for a long time since you were very young. So, alhamdulillah, you know, I really think you guys are doing wonderful. And I need you to understand that this type of Islamic knowledge, my teacher used to tell me all the time, you have to periodically go back to it all the time in order to retain it. And I've told you before that to go over things in Islam, to go over your knowledge over and over again is a method of learning. You know, repetition is a method of learning. So, you know, don't feel any kind of way. It's like actually the best thing you can do with your time, you know, and the more of it you do, especially in the hours when other people are sleeping or watching TV or something like that, the more of it you do at those times, the more you will retain. So, somebody want to ask me something? Okay. So, the optional or choice time of prayer is the time in which you are allowed to pray in it, in any part of it, without blame or punishment.
Oh, see, you're talking about the optional time.
Say it again.
You're not thinking about that right now. The optional time of prayer, choice time of the prayer. That's what they're talking about now.
Oh, that's you, Abu Yasin, teaching the boys? Who was that?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
yeah.
Oh, Yahya.
Yeah, sorry about that, Sheikh. I just muted him.
Alaikum salam rahmatullah. It's okay if, you know, sometimes people take knowledge better from some people and then, you know, better from other people. So I don't mind. But it's just that your voice was coming in the middle, and that could become confusing. Like they got a saying, we could sing together, but not not talk together at the same time. So something my teacher used to tell me, he said that anytime you were doing some type of Islamic work, you will notice that just prior to it, the shaitan, a'udhu billahi, will try and disturb you. He will suggest to people, oh, now's a good time to go talk to Shaykh Ameen. Oh, now's a good time to ask him a question. And it's just before you starting to do some work. So it's going to be the same for you. The shaitan, a'udhu billahi, he don't want you doing this work, waking people up. He would prefer that you left them sleep. But this is un-Islamic. You can't leave them sleep if they're requiring, information to help to wake them up. So my responsibility and yours is, if you have information that can wake up your people, you should use it to help to wake them up. The obligation of the shaitan, a'udhu billahi, is to try and keep them asleep. It's very cunning. And one of the ways that he will use is anytime you get ready to do good Islamic work, he will try to interfere with you and your thought plan, and he will, suggest a lot of stuff to you that actually could wait until another time. So he does that to, confuse us, and so that, we can't get our work done. After a while, you'll get used to it. You'll even expect it, that just before you get ready to go to do some Islamic work, bring the telephone, knock, somebody at the door. It's always going to be some reason that he will try to shake your resolve. And, Dr. and myself, he used to make me laugh about this subject. I'll be sitting in the office next to him, waiting for the Juma to start, or for him to go do a lecture, or something like that. And then right before, the phone will ring, someone will knock on the office door, somebody will call him from the window, and he just look at me and laugh, because we both know that this is the mechanism of the shaitan, a'udhu billahi, that he tried to confound us and keep us confused. And he hates the teachers of Islam. He hates the people who put their work in. But he can't hurt you. Like, didn't you say he can only hurt the people who think that he can hurt them? He can't hurt the Muslims. The true Muslim people are, there's nothing he can do to us. We can do it to ourselves, but he can't do it. He can't do it to you. If you do it to yourself, you'll have to answer for that. But he cannot do it to you. After a while, he gets so tired of trying to deal with the Muslim brothers and sisters that, he would prefer to go someplace else than to keep assisting you and doing good. Because every time you reject him, that's a good mark for you. Okay. Allahumma salli wa sallam mubarak ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa salama taslim kathira. So this subject, the adda time, consists of two times together. The optional time and the obligatory time. When you put those two together, the optional time and the obligatory time, you have one big time. It's called adda time. So the person who is going to practice this method have to know during the optional time, the time in which you can pray or wait, this adda time extends most of the period, the whole period for prayer time for that particular prayer. Now you have to think, well, this is a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because if you're doing something, you're not in the masjid, but you're doing some kind of work or something, and you realize that the Zohar prayer has come in, and you want to know if I will be punished or not if I don't make my prayer right this minute. I can tell you that Islam doesn't make you have to make the prayer right that minute. So that original time of the adda time, the beginning time of the adda time, all the way into the middle of the optional time is still considered as good time. All the way until you get to the beginning of the optional time for the next prayer, which would be Asr. So when you get to the beginning for the next prayer that would be Asr, if you haven't prayed Zohar already, it is obligatory that you must stop what you're doing and pray Zohar. So when you stop what you're doing and pray Zohar, now you are back into the optional time for Asr. So they say the optional time for Asr begins when the obligatory time for Dhuhr begins. So when one is going out, when one time period is going out, the next time period is coming in. Amir, are you in New York or you in Detroit?
I'm in Detroit right now, Shaykh.
MashaAllah. Okay, so I'm going to take questions right now on this subject. Yes, Frank.
Shukran. So if I understand you correctly, a simple way to put this is the optional time for every prayer is all the way until the optional time for the prayer after it begins.
Pretty much, that's right.
That's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
That's absolutely true.
I've been looking for that.
Simplicity.
Simplicity equation for many weeks now.
Uh-huh. Well,
okay. Thank you.
Now you know.
That makes it easy.
So that's right. That's my job for you is to make it easy for you to understand it, repeat it, and practice it.
Shukran.
Afwan. Now, which finger you? Wait. Which finger do you start to cut when you're going to cut your fingernails? Anybody?
Okay.
Just the other finger.
Absolutely. So look, guys, this is what you really need to know about this in this subject matter, or all subject matters, actually. It does you no good to take information without it going into you and you being able to put it into practice. The whole idea of this information, I try, because I speak English, I can give you different types of scenarios that inshallah makes it easier for you to understand the subject. because we both speak in the same language, and we have a command of this information by our language that enables us to take in the information and put out the information to other people without making it confusing, So the whole idea is for you to put it in your mind and your practice, because just writing down information is meaningless unless you put it into your life. When you put it into your life, after a period of time, it translates into wisdom. So information is just information until it becomes a part of your life, and then it helps to draw out the wisdom that's in an individual because he puts it into practice. So knowledge without practice is just information. It's like Dr. used to say, in order to put something in, you have to remove something. And you used to use the example of a bottle, that you want to put water in the bottle, but you can't put water in the bottle until you pour some out. So until you pour some out, you can't put more in. This is the major problem with the people of today, that they're so full of themselves that it's hard for them to sit down long enough, pour something out of what they think they know, or what they've become accustomed to, and make room for new information to come in, that they could put that into their practice and gain wisdom from it. Me telling it to you is like, it's just some words, but until it goes into your heart, it's not going to really help you. See, one of the problems, I'm repeating the same information again. One of the problems is that the people of today, they have such a library full of information that they don't believe they actually need teachers anymore. See? Now everyone thinks that they could Google something and immediately they become a scholar on this thing that they Google because it's online. I don't care how many times you go online, it will not give you the same benefit as a teacher. Maybe in the future, the people will start to realize that, they're losing the benefit. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say he want to remove knowledge from the people, he say he don't make the ulama majnoon or forget their knowledge. He says he removes them from among the people. Generally, the ulama consider that meaning he takes them away in death. See? So if a person is intelligent, if a person is intelligent and he finds that he has someone that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent that have the capabilities to transmit this information to them in a way they can understand, they should be so happy with that, because that stops their search. They don't have to keep running around trying to find somebody if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you somebody. unfortunately, in this society, as I've talked about on different occasions, you know, it's way out of the hands of the teacher to make to get the people to really comprehend. And that means like that as soon as they say something, the teachers say something that the student, who should be emptying himself anyway, so that the student disagrees, oh, I don't think that's what the teacher should say, he cuts off his learning. You can't learn from someone if you're not taking it in by removing some of the stuff you already think you got. It could be something small, something really small, see? And the more you try to empty this stuff out of yourself, the more you will remember what you're being trained in. So, okay. I reiterate these type of things occasionally because, you know, we're all older people. We're getting to be older people. And, you know, you don't want to waste another 10, 15 years trying to overcome yourself, because that's basically what it amounts to. What it amounts to is that as long as, you know, as long as the people think they could Google what they need, this is a mechanism that the shaitan, he uses that to make the people think they don't need to learn. So as soon as they think they got it and they don't need to learn because they could Google it, their learning stops. Very unfortunate. This is one of the tricks of shaitan. So my duty to you is to try to wake you up. You ever seen in the old days in the movies, cowboy movies and stuff, when somebody's not paying attention and the instructor, the sergeant, the captain, whoever, he walks up to him and he asks him a question and he can't answer. He slaps him silly. Wake up! Bow! Well, you know, this is meaningful stuff. Dr. used to say, anytime you could see them portray it, like on a movie screen or TV or something, that this is liable to be done. It can be done. It's like it's a doable thing. See? You can pay attention to it. It has some benefit to us. So, you know, every now and then I shake you. I try to wake you up. Wait, hey, listen. You know, but that actually is not my duty. My duty to you is to do my best to wake you up. But, you know, I won't be charged with what you do with the information, whether you take it in or don't take it in. You know, I'm gonna still get the benefit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of trying to give it to you. Same information over and over and over and over and over. Okay, be smart, be intelligent. See, people think in this society, people think that what makes you smart is a degree. Well, it gives you information that you got your degree because you sat and took a lot of information, but it doesn't make you smart. You're not considered Islamically smart until this information translates into the action of the individual from what they've been learning. That's why, you know, a lot of this so-called college information is useless, because once you learn it, there's no place to apply it in general. So it's like you just wasted 4 years and you still haven't really become an intelligent human being. Then you say, if somebody's intelligent, if they think they're intelligent, all they have to do is think about what do they practice on a daily basis. The intelligent people are going to say, well, you know, every day I do prayer 5 times. Inshallah, you know, I know how to clean myself, which is a mandatory thing for Muslims. You know, I know what to eat and what not to eat, what Allah likes, what He don't like. So if you measure that with the theory of relativity, the theory of relativity means nothing to you because it's just information, not something you can apply that brings you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope you're getting this. So, you know, I can use different phrases to try to get you to understand, you know, that some of us are our own worst enemy. Because the teacher tell you something, and you know, then you know it's not his duty to stay at your house and while you driving your car and stuff like that, and you know, keep yelling in your ear, hey, 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 hey. That's not his duty. His duty is to, you know, give you this type of information that you can immediately put it into your life or put it to work, you know, follow the instruction and become, you know, an intelligent person. So the person who can tell you about the quantum theory, you know, of Copernicus, he recites a lot of information to you, but it still don't give you no benefit. Except you got a lot of theorem in your mind now, and you know, it don't benefit you. See? So the information that will benefit you is the information you learn from Islam that you can put into your life right away. See, throw away some garbage and put in the information of Islam. Okay. So Frank realized that right away. He said, this is the information that I've been trying to get for a little while. I know that too. But as I told him some months ago, this is a subject, these type of subjects are very technical subjects that needs a lot of explanation, a lot of talk until it, you know, you get rid of some old stuff and you bring the new information, you have room for it now. And so you put it into your system and now you can apply it. So the obligatory time, what's the first one called?
At the time.
At the time is the 2 times combined. At the time is the optional and the obligatory time combined. So what Islam says is that these 2 times are shared. The optional and the obligatory times are shared. So don't get confused. That whole period is called the Adda time. Salam alaikum, Jabal. Okay. So now, even though that time is combined, Islam says the Zohar and the Asr, they share in time. The Maghrib and the Isha, they share in time. See? Now, so that we have a cutoff point that will make you know when one is past where it's supposed to be, that time is called the obligatory time. So even though they both share in time, when it gets to the point where this time now is past where it should be. If you didn't pray yet, you should have prayed already. And if you're doing something now that you should have gotten it completed before now is the obligatory time, you have to stop whatever you're doing and go pray, make your prayer. Find a way to make your prayer. See? Like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came into the masjid and he found the Sahabi sitting around and basically complaining. What we would consider as complaining. Oh, you know, I have to get up about this morning prayer. And if I had a choice in the matter, I probably would stay close to the fire and sleep, you know, and like that, and you know, and not worry about running out the house early hours in the morning to come and make this prayer. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to them, oh, well, if that's the case, you don't have to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know. So the Sahabi got happy. They left the mosque saying, "Oh yeah, I'm not coming in the morning. I'm gonna rest this time. I'm gonna stay in the bed with my wife and near the fire." So the historians say the next morning they found the Prophet ﷺ, when he came, he found all of these people in the masjid waiting for the morning prayer. So he said to them, "Hey, what's going on? When you left happy, saying, 'Oh, I don't have to worry about that. I'm not going there in the morning.'" Prophet ﷺ said, "I don't have to do it, so I'm not going to do it." So he asked him, "Well, what made you change your mind?" They say, "Well, you know, while I was asleep, I woke up as if fire had attacked my bed. Fire had attacked my bed while I was sleeping, and I couldn't sleep. It was like scorpions or snakes was attacking me in my sleep. So I immediately got up and came to make my prayers." So the people of Hadith, the Muhaddith, and they say the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam started to laugh, and he said to them, "Hey, it's okay. I wasn't worried about you. I wasn't worried about you because you are people of faith. So your faith won't let you abandon good practice." So, you know, we have to, you know, the ulama say the people of today, their faith is so weak that what the Sahabi and the Taba'in took as a major problem, that, you know, whenever they committed any type of sin or anything, it would be like a mountain was resting on them. See? They said that, but the people of today, the committing of sins for the people of today is nothing. It's like a fly. They'll shoot a fly away and they don't think about it no more. So these things are all connected. They're called actions of faith. They're all connected. So my advice to the Muslims is to, you know, to keep emphasis on what they will get benefit from now and later. Don't be like the doctors. You know, the doctors, they become doctors, and so, you know, they get benefit from it now. Because if you got 10 million doctors, what do you need another doctor for? the benefit for that doctor is in his Porsche, you know, his new home, being able to grow palm trees. But when he dies, going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's going to wish that the time that he spent becoming an MD, he would rather have that time back to do something that now will benefit him after death. See? One of the syndromes of this problem is that many times the doctor believes that they have the right or the ability to act as God. Like things don't apply to them like they apply to other people. MashaAllah. Allahumma salli wa salam mubarak ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa salama taslim kathira. So, alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Let me hear from you whatever questions they have.
No. So alhamdulillah, we have a few. One question asked if, and I'm assuming this is, you know, because of the pandemic. They're saying if there's a online virtual janazah service, should you make the janazah prayer with the imam and the congregation that you see in the computer screen, or should you make the janazah prayer separately from the imam and the congregation?
The janazah, the more people you have involved in the janazah, the better it is for the dead person. But there is no only one way. If you don't have the ability to make the janazah with the congregation and you want to send dua for the person, you can make it for the person, even if you were standing alone, even if you was in another country, even if you was in, you know, because the janazah is for the next life. Janazah is for the next life. It's not relegated to this time and space as we know it today, during this life. But it's better if you do it with the imam and the congregation, like most prayers. As you like.
Shaykh, there were some people who came a little bit late, but who are consistent people who I see from the chat. They're asking if we can get, if you can go over again the order of the fingers. After you do the Shahada finger, what else do you do?
Okay, they can take that for one of you guys, because I just gave it to you. And I shouldn't have to repeat that right now.
Yes, Shaykh. Alhamdulillah. We also have Brother Hassan has his hand raised, so I think maybe he wants to ask a question.
Hassan, which Hassan?
Hassan from Philadelphia. Hassan Abdul Mateen.
Oh, okay. As you like.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
My question, can you hear me all right, Shaykh?
No, I can't hear you. It's breaking up. Keeps breaking up.
Maybe because of my microphone.
MashaAllah, just let Rasul, Dr. Rasul ask me the question.
Yes, Brother Hassan, can you just type the question, because you're very garbled. So either type it or get somewhere where maybe your reception is better, inshallah. We have another question. Someone asked, when joining Juma online, are you still obligated to do the 4 rakat of Dhuhr, or should you do the 2 rakat like if you were in the masjid?
Well, you know, Allahumma salli wa salam mubarak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. I can only answer you by the jurisprudence, the normal practice of a person who is not making Juma in the masjid with the imam is that he have to make Zuhr, not the 2 rakats for Juma. This, to me, is sort of a ijtihad that I don't like to do, because these things didn't exist during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so, you know, when it comes to these type of things, people have a tendency to do as they please. They will do something like, you know, make their own understanding of it based on something. But my opinion is that you will follow the imam, but you would also do Zuhr prayer. They will follow the imam because that's a big sunnah to follow the imam. What is bigger than that is to make sure that you get the credit for the prayer. And because there's no credit for prayer outside of the masjid in the set of 2, like let's say a person gathers people in their home, and they don't consider this as the home for Juma. You know, it's just that, you know, they have a few people living in the home, and when it comes time for the Juma prayer time, you know, they're going to make the prayer together. Well, they're not going to make Juma prayer by 2 rakats. They're going to make 4 rakats. They're going to make 4 rakats for Dhuhr. Why? Because they are outside of the masjid. And this is traditionally what a person does when they're outside of the masjid for Juma, for the prayer of Juma. They will make 4 rakats. Even if they have people praying behind them, those people will make 4 rakats too. So, you know, this is unprecedented. This computer and, you know, online, and then, you know, you guys spend too much time trying to find an easy way. So if you ask me, I'm in this particular thing, I'm probably going to give you more work to do than not. So I'll tell you, you know, for the eyes of the people, if there's people that saying, why is this brother not praying? He got online to do Juma with us. So then when it came time to do the prayer, he's praying. He's not praying the same thing that we're praying. He's praying something else. So, you know, it's like too confusing. You know, I'm telling you that you should do both things then. If you want to follow the imam, then if the imam is making this Juma out of inside the masjid, and, you know, he makes 2 rakah, you should do that. But for your own safety, you should add 4 rakats of Dhuhr after Salah and do it as Dhuhr. So you cover all your bases, and no one can say that you have missed praying this prayer in congregation. Okay, as you like.
Shaykh, in that situation, would you treat the 2 rak'ah with the imam as a nafil and then treat the 4 rak'ah as your fard?
Yes.
Thank you, Shaykh. Also, somebody is asking, is there a particular day or particular time that is good to do the fitrah of shaving the hair and clipping the nails?
No. That's optional. It's like if you see that you need to shave your hair because you're getting too much hair, and you count back in days, and you have at least 40 days, then, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, you know, just cut the hair.
No. Also, there's a question. I think this word is nafil. They're saying, do you need to take wudu for a nafil prayer?
You need wudu for anything that's required as ibadah. If it's ibadah and you have no purity, then you have no ibadah. Because purity is a major part of ibadah. No purity, you don't have wudu, ghusl, at least a tayammum, then you have no action. So, you can't say, I'm only going to make tahara, cleanliness practices for fard. Cleanliness practices should be even when you're not praying. When you break a wudu, make a new one. If you find yourself ganoob, if you have the need for a ritual bath, then do it. You can't walk around all day saying, I need a ghusl. You got to find a way to get it done, inshallah. Okay, as you like.
Alhamdulillah. The next question we have, Shaykh, someone saying, if you forget to recite a surah or some ayats of Quran after Fatiha in a fard prayer, does it invalidate the prayer? And is it any different in a nafil prayer?
Okay. This is a subject called Sajul al-Saw. It means, what is necessary to keep your prayer organized and together and acceptable. The recitation after Quran in a fard prayer is called a sunnah mu'akkada. It means it's a major sunnah. In order for it to cancel your prayer, you have to make a mistake of more than just a major sunnah. It have to be something like 2 major sunnahs or more. See? If you only miss something in recitation after Quran for Fatiha, it's not considered as enough to cancel your prayer. And it needs this type of subject. It doesn't matter whether the prayer is fard or nafil. If it's nafil prayer and you miss it, because the nafil are voluntary prayers, you can say, mashallah, I hope Allah accepts this prayer, and go on to the next nafil. But if it's fard, and you consider that you have made some mistakes that will nullify that prayer, then you have to make it again, because the fard prayers, obligatory prayers, are the ones that you will be held accountable for until the day of resurrection if you don't do them. So you can't just pass them off and say, oh, mashallah. No, you gotta work for the right to claim Islam as your religion by certain things you can and cannot ignore. So if you owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala some prayers, you got to fix that to the best of your ability, And this is why the ulama tell you, don't let too many prayers go by, because when you come back trying to fix them, if there's too many, you're not going to be able to fix them, So when they're not talking about somebody telling me, well, Shaykh, if you got 2 years worth of missed prayer, fard prayers, I'm telling you what, 2 years worth of missed fard prayers, you probably ain't gonna never fix that. Never. You have to be like an athlete to make up 2 years worth of fard missed prayers, before you die. For the most part, that's not going to happen. But if they're nafils, it's okay, because not okay, but it's like you're not going to be punished for missing nafil prayers, because nafil prayers are voluntary. They're not imposed on you, saying, in order to say you're a Muslim, you got to make all your nafils. No. To say that, you try harder than the next guy, alhamdulillah, that's something different. But what makes a person able to claim Islam as their religion are the things that are obligatory, that you have to do to be able to say, I'm a Muslim. Frank, you get me? Okay, as you like.
Oh, sorry, Shaykh. I was still on mute. Brother Hassan, did you want to ask a follow-up question? Maybe he's muted.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah. So that alhamdulillah. Oh, is that Brother Hassan? Okay, MashaAllah. So I think that's all we have. I'll look on the YouTube to see if anybody asked any questions there. And in the meantime, if anybody thinks of any questions, this will be your last opportunity for today, inshallah. So I think that's all we have. And I just want to say to everyone, Brother Hassan, I see your hand raised again.
Alhamdulillah. I don't know whether or not you can hear me well.
Yes, we can hear you better.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Okay, Sheikh. So I got the idea about the ayat surah after the Fatiha in right. If we do it or we have that is still valid. However,
Brother Hassan, you're breaking up really badly. So let's.
I only heard a small piece of that question. I can't really answer about that.
Nah, Brother Hassan, we can talk about that inshallah after the class. We can talk on the landline, and if I can't answer your question, then I'll jot it down and we'll ask Shaykh Ameen next week inshallah, because your reception's kind of bad. F1. So if there are no more questions, I just wanna thank you, Shaykh Ameen, for another very beneficial, insightful class, and for all of your encouragement. And I want to say to the people, I forgot to say this in the beginning, this class is brought to you by Nasr Ilm America, which is a philanthropic organization started by some of the brothers and sisters here who were students of Sheikh Hassan Sisi, brother Ta'ano. And as also being students of Shaykh Ameen, we asked him if he would do us the honor of giving us these classes online during the pandemic. And alhamdulillah, he agreed. So I'm asking everyone to make sure you keep Shaykh Ameen and his family and his teachers in your dua, asking you to make sure you keep Brother Ajib Abdul Salam and the Nasr Ilm America organization in your dua. And we've talked in the past about the different ways that you can support the work that we are doing. So please keep that in mind, inshallah, if you want to get some benefit by contributing some sadaqah or some hadiyah, inshallah ta'ala. And I'm thanking everyone for coming. May Allah reward you. Shaykh Ameen, if you could, let us know if there's anything else you want to tell us, and if you could close us out with dua, inshallah.
Shukran jazilan. So when I was a young guy, I was really like just trying to learn how to be a good teacher. Or not even that. I was just trying to learn fiqh so I could be a good practitioner of Islam. And my teacher, he basically was giving up information that would help us to be able to be good Islamic practitioners. But then one day he told me he wanted me to go to meet with Sheikh Hassan, who to me was unknown at the time. He wanted me to go to meet with Sheikh Hassan. And gave me an address, but then by that time, I had brothers that always traveled with me every place I went. Very diligent Muslim brothers. And Abu Yasin, he was among that second wave of that group. And so when I went to visit with Sheikh Hassan, I found out then what the whole thing was about is that Sheikh Hassan wanted his murids to learn fiqh because he thought it would enhance their practice of Islam. And, he informed me that the people, his murids, even though he's trying to tell them something, they are mistaken what he's saying, because it's like what Dr. used to say, blinded by the light. Sheikh Hassan told me the same thing. He said, well, the people are like blinded by the light. So, most of them think they don't really need to learn this kind of knowledge. He said, but they do, And me, at the time being so, I was popular among people at the time. So, I said, well, that group passed and there'd be more room for somebody else to learn. So I never really fought for them, And most of them thought that all they had to do was Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Muhammad al-Fatih, lima ugli wa katim lima salga nasir haq bil haq wa hadi Allah siratika mustaqim wa ala alihi haq qadrihi wa miqdarihi al-azim. And that, they had it going on. Well, Shaykh Hassan was telling me that no, that's not true. It has some benefit to you, but the other way around is bigger. Like the knowledge and practice of the fiqh is bigger than making dua. But the people didn't see it that way. The only thing they saw was what Shaykh Hassan did. They were blinded by the light. And no matter, he was trying to teach them the right way, that, he knew that, if they really want to learn fiqh, they had to learn it like a school practice. But, the people, it took a long time for them to finally come to the realization, we should probably be doing something different. And it's not Shaykh Hassan. Don't put that on Shaykh Hassan, because he used to tell them all the time, you need to learn this. You need to learn this. But the people, they were so up on themselves by, practicing some form of tasawwuf that, they didn't think they needed that. And the Sheikh telling them, you need that. You need that. You need that. But they didn't listen. So now what you have is, you got a large group of people who are like kind of mixed up Islamically from the point of jurisprudence, but they know 1,000 different zikr. The true worth of the zikr is that's like a nafil. That's not fard. It's like more like a nafil than it is fard. Fard is learning your ibadah and putting it into your practice of life. And then to complete that whole realm, you make these nafil, you make the dhikr as a weird, that's like, meaning that, it's something that you do all the time and it becomes a part of your worship. But initially, it's not considered as fard. Not considered as fard. So the people from back in those times, they kind of got mixed up because they were blinded by the light. They had never had a true sheikh. They never had a true sheikh that came to them, and gave them different zikr and things of that nature. And they believed in it to the point that, we always thought it was have help for us, but the scholars who have the same feeling, but they know that they got to complete something before they can go to the next level. So I'm going to tell you once again, there is no shortcut. See? The people who want to obtain this high level of spirituality, you don't do that through making a zikr. You do that through learning your obligations as a Muslim, learning the ins and outs of those obligations, putting it into your life on an everyday basis until it becomes a part of you. And what comes with that and making your zikr is this hidden information that only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can reveal it to you. I won't repeat that. Okay. اللهم إني أسألك من كل خير سألك منه محمد نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم وأعوذ بك من كل شر استعاذك منه محمد نبيك صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما لنا وما أنت أعلم به من نار ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الماء وممات ومن فتنة القبر ومن فتنة مسيح الدجال ومن عذاب النار وسوء المصير وصلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for coming to visit me.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah khair. Thank you, Shaykh. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa
Alaikum,
barakatuh.
Shaykh. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Sheikh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I keep hearing a sister's voice.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. That's you, Hajj?
That's Brother Isa.
Isa, how are you, Isa?
Alhamdulillah, shukran jazilan, Shaykh. Barakallahu feek.
Fikum barakallah. Okay, that's no more. I don't have any more that I have to deal with, right?
No.
Not at all, Shaykh. Thank you, thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Where's Muhammad?
He's outside. He's outside playing.
Lucky guy.
And I've been. Oh, I didn't realize the videos. I've been taking your advice, Shaykh, and it's a world of difference.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
I remember those days. I remember those days.
I remember those days. I remember them too. just in case you think I forgot. I didn't forget.
SubhanAllah.
Amir, you feel better now?
Alhamdulillah. I just have one more question regarding the
That's what makes him a resident genius. You see? He sat there. He said, "Wait a minute. I didn't get all that I could have got. Let me see if I can get something else." That's
I have
smart.
more, but this is just a basic question. Just
okay,
you know, just before
smart.
he said it, I thought to myself, "Let me end this call so she can go get some rest."
No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, go ahead. Tell me, Amir.
No, I just wanted to ask, like, how often is the midnight run conducted, so that we can be aware when we need to show support at the right time.
You know what, Amir? There's no exact answer for that. What happens is we have to raise money.
Yeah, that's
so
important.
as we're raising money, you know, we're keeping some kind of account. We have an account that's in the bank that, you know, we keep an account. So once we reach a certain amount, then we know we can afford to do the next run. People are greatly mistaken in this. They think that when you feed the homeless, you know, you just tell the people, "Oh, we want all your old clothes," and you can't feed the homeless like that.
No.
No, you don't want to give people something that you wouldn't want.
No.
You want to give them adequate. The way you live, you have. The Islamic way is to make sure they have it within your ability. See? So, you know, I remember when Jaffa and myself, when we used to collect this stuff, and then they have bags and bags and piles of bags of stuff that people had donated. So then Jaffa and myself, we'd have to go through those bags, and we kept looking at the bag saying, "Well, this, who would give something like this? This is garbage." So we decided we wasn't going to take secondhand clothes like that no more.
Right.
See, because people's idea of what's good to give to the homeless people is crazy. If I don't want, if I wouldn't wear it, why would I give it to him to wear it? See, so Ajib, you know, he's very good at shopping for these things. You know, he finds, you know, Hajj Dawood too. They find deals, you know, that will benefit the people, benefit the Muslims. And so, you know, we give them monies. We ask them to go do us shopping for the homeless. And, you know, but we can't ask them to go with $200 or $300. So each time we do a run, each time, it costs about
10,000. About 10,000.
Well, actually, we try not to go that high for each run. So we would split 10,000 into 2 runs. See, we split that into 2 runs. But you know, the thing is that Muslims have to be intelligent when they're dealing with money. See, so you know, this is something that we do. Shaykh Ameen, you know, he sent me a picture the other day of myself with Imam Ahmed. Imam Ahmed was a little kid. He was like a young guy with no hair on his face or nothing. And then he wrote, Shaykh Ameen wrote on the picture 8 years ago. So 8 years ago, you know, we was already progressively feeding the homeless. Yeah. So this is a consistent thing. It has become one of the staples that we do to let people realize that the Muslims are here for more than just, you know, being like the Jehovah's Witness, knocking on people's doors, and you know, like that. You know, we actually try to service our community. I would like to do the next one in Harlem, but as I said before, you have to raise a certain amount of money, and you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, He knows what we've been doing up to this point. Nobody can say, because look, this is our practice. Our practice is everything that a person does have to be documented. If somebody's just asking you for money to feed the homeless and they're not with some group or something like that,
no documentation.
You know, that's like you. I mean, Allah will give you a reward because your intention is to help feed the homeless. You don't know what their intention is. See, so this is why I always tell people, you know, join some organization that does this type of work, all the types of good work, you know, and monitor that. Don't just like throw your money out the window. You know, we have to be practical with money. So this is the thing. Dr. Dunya used to say, because if you do some kind of Islamic type work, the people will think that, you know, you getting fed from the sky. I never realized it until I was older, exactly what he was saying. He used to say something like, the people think that if you work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you get paid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is basically true, but you still got to eat. You got to pay rent. You know, it costs you to get the materials to be able to do the work. So, you know, this is why that part of this type of work is bigger than after everything is done, standing there and handing the stuff out. See? It's the work that comes before standing there and handing the stuff out.
The logistics.
Yeah, that's the big the big reward is in the getting the things you need to have somebody stand and hand it out, and everybody gonna get rewards for what they put in. See, one thing have to have the other thing to go with it in order for you to be able to do it. So, you know, if I tell you If I tell you, well, inshallah, no, if I tell you we're gonna serve the homeless every 3 or 4 months, and I forget to say inshallah, that's like asking for a fall because I don't know how can I put it. Yeah, inshallah, that's right. Absolutely. Inshallah. So, we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the hearts of the people.
Fall.
Yeah.
You think it's just you and your brain and your intelligence, you're asking for a fall.
It don't work that way. That's right.
That's right. It don't work that way.
So inshallah, we'll do it as soon as we come to a level. Also, we have to have the people available to get it done too. If Hajj Daoud's not around, and I know that he knows what to do with this stuff. I'm not gonna, I can't just invent somebody and say, hey, you go do it. I need to know that this person know what he's doing. I can't put the Muslim's money in his hand and say, you go do it, and not know whether or not he's capable of doing that or not. Or, like the Prophet ﷺ said, who can speak for that man? Who knows him? A couple of Sahaba say, I know that guy. Prophet ﷺ said, well, how do you know him? Oh, I pray with him almost every day. Prophet ﷺ say, no.
You don't know him.
You don't know him.
You don't know him.
You don't know him. You know a person when you have done things with that person. That's how you know him. See? Okay. Amir? Okay.
Yeah.
You good now?
I have like 5 more questions, but if I ask you these questions, you're gonna be here until Salatul Isha, so I'll say.
and Amir, I gotta
it's already
apologize
Isha
to you
here now in the UK.
Mashallah. But Amir, I gotta apologize to you because you did ask that question in the chat during class. I just kind of overlooked it because it wasn't a thick question. So
Yeah.
I kind of forgot to ask it, but you did ask that during class, so alhamdulillah. But Shaykh, inshallah, we're gonna let you go get some rest now, inshallah.
Good. I hear Muhammad. So look.
No, that's not Muhammad. It's somebody else.
that's my
Oh, alhamdulillah.
Okay. So Amir, people don't understand. They may not realize that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not have, big conversations and classes and stuff like that after the Isha time or during Isha time. See, if you want to do it before Isha, and you got a place that they let you do it in or whatever, then nobody's gonna complain about that. But after Isha time, we won't have these type of discussions. Even me, after Maghrib time, I don't have these type of discussions. See?
It's Asr time now.
Yeah. So Isha time is a cutoff time from, it's like that's time that your family, if you haven't come in yet or, came for dinner or whatever, it would make it inconvenient for them to hold the food and wait for you to come after Isha.
Right.
So it's bad manners to have discussions, people, mashallah. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Hajj, I'll talk to you later, inshallah. You're welcome. You're welcome so much. You're welcome so much.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Lahul mulk wa lahul hamd yuhyi wa yumiitu la kulli shay'in qadir. Sayyidina Muhammadar Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa salama taslim kathira. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Lahul mulk wa lahul hamd yuhyi wa yumiitu wa la kulli shay'in qadir. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.